Hello everyone, in this video I'll be sharing with you the 2026 Ford Everest Titanium 4x2 available here in the Philippines. Okay guys, so for the Ford Everest Titanium 4x2, we have a 2.0 liter turbo diesel engine. So as you can see, 2.0 liter only, so it's really not that big in size, but the output of this one is 170 to 180 maximum horsepower, of course, if you maximize the RPM, and we have 420 Newton meters of torque for the maximum torque output. So basically, if you're going to use this here in the Philippines, this is very capable already for your city driving and even for your long driving requirements. So as you can see, since this is a 2.0 liter engine, it's not that big. We have your compression zone here. Just in case for frontal collisions, at least your engine is still protected. Here you have your coolant. Here you have your water sprinklers. So basically, we recommend distilled water. And then here you have your snorkel, just in case you're going through some flood or for some river wading purposes. And you have your battery, Ford Motor Company battery. Warranty is 1 year. Well, basically, we have plenty of electronics and features in the unit, so understandably, of course, it will take up some battery. Fuse box, computer box, and that's about it for under the hood of your Ford Everest Titanium. Hey guys, so for the front part of your Ford Everest Titanium, obviously, this is the titanium variant, so we will have our chrome grille. So it's we have chrome designs all throughout the unit, but here you have your big Ford logo. Unfortunately, we still do not have a front camera since this is not yet equipped with a 360 camera, but you have your front sensors here, and this area is open for more air intake. You have your bumper, plastic bumper here, and you have your towing hooks for both sides. So what's nice about this is you have your C-clamp LED daytime running lights, you have your LED headlights and your LED high beam, and this is for your turn signal indicators. And you also have your chrome accents around your fog lamps, which is LED also. So that makes for a very nice front grille, and your hood is also designed with an aerodynamic and butter knife design, not grill. Okay, so for the side profile of your Ford Everest Titanium, obviously, you have your 20 inches two-tone mags. So you have your Goodyear tires, which is more than enough for your city driving needs and even for long driving and even some dirt roads. So you have your disc brakes already for the front, so which gives you a faster braking capability. You have your mudguard already. As you can see, it's already being applied. And then here you have your exhaust vents for your hood. So basically, you have your air intake. Of course, the engine uses the air. It has to exhaust some of it here. So yeah, this is where it goes. So this is functional actually. This has holes here. And you have your chrome accents also here. So for the side mirrors, it's also chrome, obviously. And then you have your turn signal indicators. And you have your paddle lamps. So just in case it's dark or whatnot, you have your paddle lamps to guide you where you're landing your feet. You have your titanium indicator. It's very nice. Okay. Very classy in design. And your step board is already anti-slip. So as you can see the spikes. So it's anti-slip, and you have your chrome accent even for your step board. So obviously you have your chrome accent all throughout the vehicle. Even your door handles are already chrome accent. So this gives you an easy access, so unlock and to lock. So let me just guide you with the chrome accents. So even here, very nice chrome accents over there. Your roof rails are a little bit pale silver in design. At least it still matches the chrome accents. And you can notice you also have your butter knife design here for your Ford Everest. And here at the rear, our suspension is independent multi-link suspension. So very, very nice for city driving and especially for long drives. Very comfortable. You have your disc brakes already. And same, you have your Goodyear tires and your two-tone 20 inches of mags. Then you have your mud flaps there. So obviously this is a diesel engine. So as long as the unit is unlocked, you can access this one. But if the unit is locked, even if I press this, it won't open. So that's for your side profile of your Ford Everest Titanium. Okay, so for the rear of your Ford Everest Titanium, a little bit boxy in style. So this is a little bit similar for me to the Land Cruiser in size, since I'm also familiar with the Toyota Land Cruiser. So you have your third brake light here. Okay, and then of course you have your rear wipers. What's nice about this one is your brake lights are already integrated with the tailgate. So even this one will turn, the lights here will also turn on. So you have your tail lights and reverse lights. You have your Everest lettering. So it's enclosed in a hard plastic type of material. Of course, you have the best logo available. You have the Ford logo and you have your rear view camera. So for the titanium variants, you have your titanium emblems, basically your titanium word. And before, for the 4x4, you had your 4x4 emblem here, but right now for the 4x2 and 4x4, it's the same. You don't have any emblem. So this one, you have, of course, you have your rear sensors, and here for your rear fog lamps. Then, so let me show you the trunk space. So you just click this once. So that's automatic. You can also access this through your key fob. You just hold it for the second press and then it will open. So here you have your 12 volts inverter also. Your third row seats are uptight, and then if you want to fold them down, this is manual adjusted. For the 4x4, it's already electronically power adjusted. So this one, okay, so very fast. So that's the advantage if it's manual. You can do it very quickly. But if it's power, you just have to wait for them to slowly fold down. So to pull it back up, you'll be having this one here. So you just pull. Okay. Okay, so here, if you're fully occupied with 7 people, well, this gives you a very decent amount of storage space or trunk space, if you ask me. Then here you have your emergency tools. So you have your jack, you have your tire wrench here, and this is your early warning device. And then here is where you can access your spare tire, which is steel. And here you have your compartment for some of your firearms. So I'm just kidding. But yeah, you have your compartment for anything you want to put here. And then to close this one, you just click this here. You can also close it using your key fob or with a button here on the driver's side. Okay, so let's get inside the Ford Everest Titanium. Obviously, since this is our premium unit for the midsize SUV, you have your blacked out interior, even your seats are black leather seats. So very classy in design. So your front seats are 10-way power adjust. So here, 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 here. And this is for your lower back or lumbar support here. And for your doors, so this is the lock and unlock for the whole unit and for the gas tank. And your door handles are not here, so they are already here, which is very handy. And then, of course, this is for your power windows of the unit. Then this is to adjust the side mirrors. This is to lock the windows so nobody can open or close the windows. And this is to fold the side mirrors electronically even when the unit is moving. So if you're in this part of the vehicle, of course, you have your air con vents. You can close them manually. So the vents are closed if you do it like that. Then here you have your cup holders for both sides, for the driver and front passenger. And then this is to open the trunk. So this is the button that I mentioned earlier. You can use this to open the trunk. This is to adjust if you want to off your headlights, to activate your parking lights, activate automatic headlamps, and activate your headlamps manually. This is for the fog lamps. And then this is for the brightness of the instrument cluster and of your infotainment touchscreen. And then this one is for your headlight leveling. So for example, your unit is a little bit tilted upwards since it's a heavy load. Of course, your headlights will be pointing at the eye level of your of the drivers coming in the opposite direction. It can be dangerous, so it's important to level your headlights well. This is to adjust the steering wheel. So this is telescopic and tilting. And then here, let's get inside the unit. So since this is the 4x2, so basically you're at the top of the line variant, titanium, but this is the 4x2, so you have your 6 inches digital instrument cluster. So to start the unit, step on the brake and press this button here. Okay, so obviously you have your 6 inches infotainment touchscreen. Sorry, your 6 inches digital instrument cluster. So here, what's very nice about this is, it's very responsive. You can quickly check your menu. You can even measure your trips. So if you want to measure your trip from, for example, from here to Baguio, you can click OK, hold it. So you can reset it to 0. So here you can measure the kilometers, the fuel consumption, the time, even the average speed. So here you also have your compass, so it's facing southwest. You have your room temperature, it's 25 degrees. You have your odometer, and you have your estimated fuel to empty. And this is your fuel tank. So basically we're in almost empty. This is your thermostat. So at Ford, we are already electronically power assisted with the steering. So it's very, very light. You can easily make a U-turn even just using one hand or one arm. Here in the steering wheel, you also have this design here, which is very useful for me. So you have your design a little bit like that, even here. So at least you can use this or control it well, even using one hand only. So these are your controls for the cruise control. This is for your volume. This is for your voice control. As I said, this is for the instrument cluster, and these are for your songs, and this is to pick up and drop calls. So the horn is average, a little bit above average in sound. And then these are for your wipers, and these are for your turn signal indicators and high beam. So here for your infotainment touchscreen, this is 12 inches already. So basically you have the same as a 4x4. Most of the time, 90% of the time, our clients, they pair their phone here, so which is very easy to do. And once you pair your phone, you can connect your apps via Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So what are the apps that are applicable? Well, you have your Spotify, Google Maps, you have your Waze, you have your Zoom, even your Telegram, Viber. It depends if your apps are updated or if the system here is also updated. So it's important to always have this maintained as much as possible in the nearest Ford casa. Here you can also access your unit settings. So very minor or standard. So your vehicle settings about your windows, your wipers, etc. The locks, if you have any settings you want in particular, auto folding, something like that. Your connectivity to Ford Pass, the brightness, even your ambient lighting. So here we have ambient lighting for the first row. So as you can see here, so it's color blue, obviously. So aside from that, you can use this infotainment touchscreen to control the AC. So you can control the aircon via here or here manually. So manually, you can on and off. So this is off. This is your fan speed. You can adjust it here also. You can adjust the temperature, or you can adjust it here also. Dual climate, so you have for your different temperature control for your front passenger and different for your driver. Of course, you can also control the aircon controls for the rear. So you just click here. You can activate the fan speed there. You can also lock them so that they cannot control the fan speed, since we already also have a fan speed knob at the rear. So yeah, you can activate dual climate if you want to shift. Okay. And then as I used, you also have your volume, on and off the volume, hazard sign. This is for your wireless charging, and then this is for your type C and USB type charging ports. So here we have your standard gear shifter. So we even have your manual mode, which can be adjusted here. And then this is your electric park brake. So for the park brake, it's already electric. If you press this, of course you have to press the step on the brake and then press this. So it's basically releasing the handbrake. If you want to activate the handbrake, you just pull this. So same motion. You have your parking assist, which is not really applicable anymore. You have your traction control off button, and this is for your driving modes. So if I click this, I'll click the driving mode button. You'll see here your, so you'll see here it says normal mode. You have your eco mode. I'm sorry for the lighting. I'll get a better camera soon. So you have your towing or hauling, you have your slippery. So yeah, normal mode. So sometimes you can use the eco mode for city driving, although it's not that responsive or aggressive as the normal mode. So it depends on what you're using the vehicle for at the time. And then here you have your compartment. So you have your 12 volts inverter also here. So very good armrest. This is nice when going on drives or long drive. And then here you have some of your compartments. Here. Okay, so you have your auto dimming, rear view mirror, and then these are your controls for the lights, and these are for your moonroof controls. So since this is the titanium top of the line variant, you have your moonroof controls. So let me open the curtain with just one click. Okay. So it will stop in the middle and then another click, and then it's until the end. So basically the curtain, you can open it until the end of the second row, but for the window you can only open this front half. So let me click this here, one click. Then it will stop a little bit here, and then another click to fully maximize it. So yeah, so basically you're looking at around close to 12 inches probably, 1 foot of open moonroof for the window. So let me close this. So it's one click. So as some people, they are very skeptical about the moonroof. Is it possible to have no moonroof? We don't like that. It might cap at some costs for future. Of course, you have to maintain a little bit more due to the added feature. But in terms of longevity, I never had a client yet that had a major or even some minor issues regarding the moonroof. So that's basically around 100 Everest units. For the second row of your Ford Everest Titanium, well, obviously you still have the same black leather, very classy interior design. And your moonroof, it's until here. So basically it's the end of your second row. Very spacious, of course. This is an American brand. And you have your aircon controls here for the fan speed of the second row. You have your 230 volts inverter. And you have your Type-C and USB Type charging ports here. So a little bit spacious since this is already maximized. You can adjust the seats here anyway to compensate for the third row. And you have plenty of aircon vents for the third row and for the second row as well. And you also have your light here. So it's easy to get in and out of the vehicle since you have your handles here. And for your doors of your second row, same, you have your lock and unlock. You can, the driver can authorize the second row to lock and unlock the unit. Of course, if you have kids here, both adults have to go out. You can authorize them to lock and unlock the unit from here. So you don't have to go all the way from the center console to the driver's side. Your door handles are here already. Very nice because it's already soft touch. And you have a good compartment space for some of your documents and some small drinks. Power windows and tweeter speaker and your speakers. So you have your anti-slip steps here and here, since this is most of the time the steps to get to the third row. So to get to the third row, very easy. You can just use one hand, or even if you're already in the third row, you can get yourself out of it using this lever here. So you just put this here. Okay, so once it's like that, you just have to push it. Okay, so some people are asking me, can you tumble turn this? No, you cannot tumble turn this since it's already here for a better adjustment. So to get to the third row, you have plenty of space, as I would say. So you have your steps here, and you can easily get to the third row. So leg room for the third row, of course. This is a mid-size SUV. This is not full size. So we have to compensate a little bit, but even here you can see it's very good in leg room. It's not completely flat, but if you adjust your second row seats, so first of all, you can adjust your first row seats, and then you adjust your second row, and then you can adjust your second row, yes, for the third row to be compensated. So it makes a very comfortable ride for everyone in the unit. So that's mostly what happens. For the third row seats, you also have your cup holders, you have your 12 volts inverter, you also have your tie downs, and you have your aircon vents, and even a place where you can hang your garments or things. Okay, so that's for the... And then to put it back, you just slide it and put the chair upright. Okay, so that is it for the Ford Everest Titanium 4x2 here in the Philippines. This is basically the top of the line variant, but this is the 4x2 variant of this one. So if you found this video useful, please give this video a like, share it with your friends who you think this might be useful for them, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more similar content. If you have any inquiries, you can contact me at 0936-994-6643 via Viber or via phone call. Thank you so much for watching.